Welcome back to Bat Fridays here at One Comic Book a Day. Today we're covering Detective Comics number 48, Secret Cavern. Secret Cavern! Sorry, I know it's not exactly the right word, but I had to do it. Secret Cavern is sort of an oddly old-fashioned Batman story, and that might be an unfair criticism to be throwing at Batman, which has only existed for 20 issues. And there's a lot of things like the art sort of feels like a downgrade from what it had been becoming. But I can't really say that the art has changed all that much. But there's something about this story that feels like it belongs in like the first 10 issues of Detective Comics versus the 20s of Detective Comics. Okay, we're in the 40s, but Batman didn't start till 27, so we're at 21 Detective Comics with Batman in them, and we've had 3 Batman issues, which of course had 4 individual Batman stories in them, putting us at around 33 Batman stories so far in Detective Comics history. But Batman stories had sort of moved towards having like supervillains or some sort of like big villain threat. This one rambles. The stakes are kind of low. It has to rely on a lot of happenstance. It just feels more like we're trying to find a Batman story than we've already sort of created the structure of a Batman story, which we had by like Batman number 1. And once again, this is all kind of an unfair criticism. It's so weak in a way that feels old-fashioned to what is already old-fashioned Batman stories. The plot, as it is there's this man who finds like this cavern, a secret cavern, not a secret tunnel, though it possibly is a secret tunnel. It's a limestone cavern. The important thing is he realizes, because it's in Kentucky, it's underneath Fort Stox, not Knox, Stox. That is the level of writing we're dealing with in this comic, or most early Batman stories. I mean, Bill Finger had his positives. Other things were kind of weak. So it's underneath Fort Stox. Of course, there's a whole bunch of America's gold up there, and this idiot goes to brag about it at the local tavern. He can't keep it within himself. He can't even just like explain he found this really cool cavern that's full of bats. Yeah, it's like a first appearance of a bat cave. Not the bat cave, but a bat cave, because there is no bat cave yet. It's been about 2 years and there's no bat cave. Also, there's no Alfred still. It almost feels it shouldn't be legal to go this long without Alfred, though in the current Batman run, it's been about 2 years since Alfred was killed, so it's true for now, too. I wonder how long he was dead for when he was originally killed off, around the 50s? We'll find out. So this guy brags, and there happens to be 3 criminals in this tavern. It's actually really confusing for me to go from cavern to tavern, because I keep screwing it up. God knows how many takes this is. See, this is why you need friends, so you can go brag to them, and they probably won't try to rob Fort Stox. Wow, I almost screwed up Fort Stox and called it Knox. It's not Fort Knox. So they grab him, and they sort of kind of push him around, tie him up, but he won't tell them where this cavern is. But they realize he has a daughter in Gotham, and that they can use her as leverage to get the information out of him. Now, what you're expecting is probably they're going to kidnap and threaten the daughter. That would be the simple answer. It is not the answer they go with, because these criminals are extra and very convoluted. So they go to Ronaldo, who runs this club where his daughter happens to be working. She's a lounge singer. And they explain the whole situation to him, which is kind of fascinating because after he shows up, he sort of becomes like the ringleader. And he doesn't really become a part of this plan until like halfway through. But they come up with this idea. Instead of kidnapping her, they send the one guy down, and he's being creepy with her, so she pulls out her gun, and she shoots him, and they're all like, no, it was just a prank, you murdered this guy. Well, they had replaced the bullets in her gun with blanks, so this was all just making her think she was guilty, so they would threaten to turn her into her dad, so he would tell them where the cavern was. I don't know, I feel like it would just be way more easier just to kidnap her and threaten her. But unlucky for them, that night she had a date with Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne thinks it's odd that she just disappeared. He even goes and talks to her roommate, who says she just packed everything up and disappeared. She went to go stay with her father. They actively wanted her to get to her father so they can just make up this information. Once again, kidnapping, way easier, guys. So now that Batman knows something's up, they're pretty much screwed. So Batman ends up finding Ronaldo's guys and getting the information out of them. At one point, driving the red Batmobile. There's an example of why it feels old-fashioned, because the Batmobile was kind of green at first, and it was red, but it had become black consistently since, I don't know, 5 issues in, 6 issues in. Now it's back to red. You know, the red Batmobile, really striking while it's driving across the street. He drives it like right into like a tavern or something where the guy who was supposedly killed is. So Batman grabs him and puts him in the bat plane, which is looking a little different. It did look like a plane with sort of like a Batman face symbol on it, but now it looks like it has more of a bat head. It looks more like an actual bat flying through the sky than the weird shaped bat planes, or the bat plane I always think of, which is the Tim Burton '89 bat plane, which of course makes the Batman symbol in the moon, and it's one of the most probably iconic shots in that entire movie. So they fly to Kentucky, free them, reveal that, well, she didn't murder anyone, so now they're really ticked off. Not about the whole kidnapping to begin with and threatening their lives, but no, that they made her think she killed a guy. So Batman, the father, and Robin are going into the cavern, which Batman is using a rowboat, and he's like in this brooding darkness while both the father and Dick Grayson are sitting behind him like they're having a lovely day at the park in a rowboat, just missing the parasol. I don't know how to describe the scene. You're seeing it right now, but my God, it just feels so weird. I love this panel. I want it postered on my walls. And of course, the villains have gotten into Fort Stox, but Batman shows up and starts beating them around, and they're easily taken care of. Actually, the guys who get into Fort Stox start shooting at Batman and Robin, but of course this summons the military and they get shot and killed. The military, after Batman explains everything, is so grateful that they wish they could give him a reward, but Batman tells them that being an American is reward enough. You know, you expect the jingoism and the American propaganda for a comic that's coming out in World War II, but for some reason it's more blatant in Batman than it is in Superman, and it makes a lot of sense for Superman, who has a lot of like American iconography and he's in the bright costume, but the dude dressed like a bat standing in darkness saying that he loves being an American most of all is just oddly disconnected from what that character is. Feels like he should be in an American flag colors. Yeah, but a hodgepodge of ideas of Batman stopping like a big massive gold robbery. That feels like it doesn't really have Batman for half it. And you know, that's actually an okay structure if you're building up like stakes and a threat, but my God, they didn't really build up stakes or a threat. A bunch of gold's going to be stolen. Maybe these guys are going to be killed. Probably not. They were going to probably keep them tied up until someone found them. But it's not like the strongest story. It needed something that was more of a hook, more of a threat to be throughout the story to be kind of interesting. Like I said, it feels like it was 20 issues ago. That is it from Detective Comics number 48, Secret Cavern. Had to do it again. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications when a new video goes up. I do this Monday through Friday, but Mondays and Thursdays I cover a Superman story in either Action Comics or Superman. And please join me next time, same bat day, same comic book channel. Have a great day.